who is really not even existing now. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, everybody thought that they were the group that was going to finally triumph over the Israelite school of UPK.
Right.
But they were wrong. So he went in there, but as he went in there, he could tell that they were very different than what I had taught him 10 years ago.
Right.
He could tell they were not in the spirit. Now, once again, I hadn't taught him anything in 10 years. I had been gone.
Right.
So now he called me on the phone one day. And he said, I went over here, but that don't seem like what you taught me. Right. And I said, oh, yeah, you should have never went in there. It's been 10 years.
Right.
Right. And in those 10 years, that group had broke off from the Israelite school of UPK.
Right.
In those 10 years. It had been so long. And then I told him about it, and I told him where we were now. I told him where One West was.
Right.
Where the UPK was, and he came on in.
All right. So as one of the members in the school that was around during the time of One West, you actually set foot in those buildings. What's one of the memories that you remember from One West?
Well, if I could, it's important to remember that you are a brother in the school in the time of One West.
Okay.
Right now. One West has not changed. If I could let you know something that most brothers won't know. Today, I went and tried to buy the building of One West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under General Yohana's orders.
It's heavy. I
try it twice or three times a year. 3 times a year. Right now, Applebee's owns the building.
Right, downstairs.
Right. And they own the upstairs. 2 or 3 times a year, I try to buy it. I try to rent it. If they won't let me buy it, I try to rent it. I tried today. I sent them an email today to rent it or buy it. Today, I'm waiting for their response.
Right.
It's something we try every 2 or 3 years. You get the point. That the One West has never changed. That's a building.
Right.
Right. But One West is a spirit that's in all of us now.
Right.
But that building is holy to us.
Right.
And we will get it back. One way or another, we're going to buy that building back. And you're going to walk in the door of that building and keep it as a holy place because it's central to our upbringing. It's a place that matters to us.
Right.
So, yes, I have physically been there, but so have you. You're learning from there. What you're learning from the generals and the captains over you now is in no way different than the brothers that learned back in 1990, 1985.
Right.
But just so you know, today, I tried to buy it today.
Right.
And the minute they sell that building, we're buying that building.
Right.
It's in Harlem, 1 West 125th Street. I don't know what we're going to do with it.
Right.
But we're going to take it. We're going to give it to Desire Yak in some way to do something with it.
Right.
And we're going to buy it. But I tried today. And I'm waiting for the email. I'm hoping that because of this coronavirus, this is why I called today. Because I'm hoping because of the coronavirus, these white people need money. They suffering. Because it's a law firm that owns it now. A law firm, Applebee's owns downstairs. A law firm owns upstairs, which is where our school was.
Right.
We'll buy it from Applebee's or from the law firm or both.
Right.
But what I'm hoping is that one of them will be suffering and in need of money, and that they'll be willing to sell it to us or rent it or something.
Right.
General Yohana would preferably like to buy the building. In the UPK, we didn't own the building at that time. We rented it.
Right.
Because we, of course, were suffering back at that time. But now, General Yohana is not suffering, and he would buy it.
Right.
But I did it today. We'll wait for their response. And what's different from then and today? Nothing. The truth today is exactly the same way it was when I was a trooper.
See, this is
no different at all.
It's a man of persistence, ambition, and all of those things, determination. I don't want to hold you up because you one of, if not, you know what I'm saying, the most busiest man I know.
The second most.
The second most. Definitely the second most. Well, what was one thing you would tell the people today, if they don't know what the UPK is, or if they don't know what the truth is, and they don't know that it's a lifestyle out there that they can
achieve,
obtain to change their life?
Okay.
What would you tell those people?
What I would tell them is that most of them will not ever be able to attain the lifestyle that you and I have achieved. That you and I, an officer in the car, have achieved. Most people will never be able to live like this, and it's foolish for you to even try. Most people should not even try. it's harmful for you to attempt to live the life I live. You shouldn't do it.
Right.
You should be a civilian. And the Bible says that some are helps. That's in the Bible. Some people are just meant to help the men who are prophets, who are disciples, who are apostles, who are priests. And you should never try to do my job.
Right.
Because in attempting to do it, it would only discourage you.
Right.
Right? But there are other men that are meant to do the job better than I am able to do it.
Right.
And those men I welcome.
Right.
Those men I would pray that they would come in and see what I do and do it better than I do it.
Right.
Right. And so now, so to most people, this is, it's like saying, who should be an astronaut? Everybody?
Right.
No. You get my point? Everybody should not be an astronaut. You're going to try to be an astronaut and you're going to blow up a lot of damn spaceships.
That's right.
Because you're not fit to do it.
Right.
But there are some that are qualified. And so is the same with the Israelite School of UPK and its priesthood. Most people should stop trying to do what I do because you can't do it.
Right.
You should stop attempting. In your attempt, you shame this service. You shame this job. But there are others that will do this job better than I have ever tried to do it. And those brothers I welcome.
Right.
You understand?
Right. All right. With that being said, we got General Muhammad, if not one of the second most busiest men in the whole wide world of Black America. We here again, man. Thank you again, Adawan. We appreciate you.
No sweat up.
Most High Christ.
I'm saying we got to represent for the culture. Niggas coming out here with all this funny color hair, skinny jeans and shit. Fuck that, nigga. We taking it back to the fringes. Motherfucking Spikes, nigga, representing for the Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? Angry Black Man Media, nigga. We getting it in. We bringing that real shit back.
I match my guns with the sneaks. That's my fashion week. Go ask the streets. Dog, we got massive beef. We pass elite. Play this on blast, repeat. Let it go worldwide. Let the masses. I don't care if she thick or her ass petite. She want war with the D, she a casualty. Long as she don't got no limits like I'm Master P. Fucking bitch! Boom, stick star!
No, do that shit over again.
We about war, we about war. Don't make my hitters come to the
Shout out UPK!
Like a spirit, I made it apparent that rappers can't walk out a mile on my shoes. How can I lose? Niggas done copied the groove. Count up the eyes and the ooh. I need to move. I need to grip with a pool. Limos in front of the school. We ain't that cool. I fuck with 144. Real one just ready for. Pray to the Lord. Just like an artist I draw. You in his raws before. My style is supernatural. I see.
We out here today at the No Kings rally. Of course, the country is a big uproar right now about what's going on with Donald Trump. Of course, we know in the ISUPK that we always live under evil leaders and evil leadership. So really, the particular devil, the particular king that's over doesn't really matter. But what does matter is that Black people, Hispanic people, at this moment may be motivated to change. May be motivated to do the right thing. May be motivated to find the Most High, find other leaders, other kings, besides the ones that have been given to us in America, in church, in the mosque. So that's why we out here. We're gonna talk to some Black people about immigration and what's going on. Doing the work.
Police Officer 500 Mathumya of the ISUPK. I'm here with this right here. What's your name?
CC Siani.
What's your name, brother?
My name's Kai.
All right, no doubt. We here with Siani. You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask you a couple questions. What brings you here today at this?
I always just felt like, well, we know Trump not for the people and he against us, which is crazy that we voted him in unless it was rigged. But I'm just here. I stand with my people.
Damn right.
And I came across No Kings through a YouTube video I was looking at, and they're talking about No Kings protests. So I checked out their website, and there's a lot of statements that I supported and a lot of things that they're standing for, such as like, you know, what's happening in this country and all the negative things, such as like the cuts of the bills that are funding colleges like Harvard and whatnot. And I decided to come out and stand with the people.
Don't mind me asking, what's 8647 mean?
86 is restaurant lingo for get rid of it.
Oh, 47 is the 47 president.
I'm here with these sisters right here. What's your name?
My name is Jennifer.
Okay, I'm here with Jennifer and
Sonia.
Sonia. Where you guys from?
We're from California, Los Angeles area.
All right, shout out to California. Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Cali. All right, so they all the way from California here in Philly at this event. What brings you here today?
Today we're here to support democracy. As we know, it is under attack. We're deeply threatened by the Trump administration and his tactics that are supporting fascism, ultra-militarism, the abuse of the military, ultra-nationalism, fascist tactics that result in him becoming an authoritarian. And that's unacceptable. We don't accept that in this country.
It's got very tense between Philadelphia police officers that were on scene and these demonstrators that were protesting against some of the actions that ICE have been doing around the country, marching and protesting in solidarity with the protests that are happening in California and Los Angeles.
Police say crowds marched to the federal detention center in Center City became disorderly, blocking traffic right there in major roadways. Police say 15 people were arrested.
I think there's a lot of anger and a lot of frustration in society, and I think sooner or later people are going to fight back.
Everyone is terrified. No one wants to go outside.
I've said for 2 sanctuary cities, how we deal with them, we flood the zone. Send many more officers in the community to find the bad guy. If we can't find them in the community, they're going to flood the zone on work sites. So sanctuary cities is going to get exactly what they don't want.
I'm here with this sister right here. What's your name?
Emma.
Emma. All right, so I'm here with Emma right now. I want to ask you a couple questions. What brings you here to this event today?
So I believe that the media is complicit in promoting Israel propaganda. They're not showing the war crimes that Israel is committing right now. They're not showing how Israel is starving Palestine. They're also basically a Russian shield. They just accept money from whoever and basically grift. They steal money. They shield whatever ideologies they feel like they can profit off of at the expense of the American people. They're not telling us the truth, basically. And so I'm here to basically march, show my support for the movement, show that we don't accept any kings here in America. Yeah.
All right, that's excellent right there.
I know there's a lot of segregation and division amongst our people, but it all comes down to being human. And I feel like, you know, we all are different shades of color. And if we can constantly are up against each other, we're not going to get anywhere.
Okay, man. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
What's your name?
Crystal.
Crystal, nice to meet you.
Jennifer.
Nice to meet you, Jennifer.
Go ahead.
Mucho gusto, Jorge.
So I'm a first generation American, so I'm Mexican American. My parents were born in Mexico. You know, they risked their lives to come over here, give us everything. They came here with nothing and gave us a great life. So I feel like it's, you know, a repay. Like I'm repaying them back for everything that they did for me. Coming out here and fighting for them and making sure they know that. Ariana.
Alana. Okay, so first question is, why are you guys here? What are you guys doing?
I'm here for like multiple reasons. I believe that America is a democracy. I believe we don't have no kings. I believe it's free Palestine. I believe that immigrants should be allowed here. I believe that police shouldn't kill, and I believe that we have the right to speak. We have the right to use our voice.
Anti-ICE protests spread from city to city. ICE is preparing to deploy its special response teams to multiple Democrat-run cities, including Philadelphia.
I'm John.
All right, I'm with this brother John, right? I want to ask him a couple questions, right? So what brings you here today at this function?
What brings me out is that, you know, I just feel like it's the right thing to do to come out and, you know, and protest against what's happening in D.C. Like the president is doing a military parade. Like that's not normal, and that should be normal in America, right? And it's on his damn birthday. Like it's just like it's just like it's crazy. It's really crazy. Like that this is happening, and it's just like I just feel like I just had to come out and just, you know, do something about it and pop out.
And being from California right now, I'm seeing the news from all my friends back home. They're being affected. Like ICE is literally parked in front of one of my old best friend's houses right now. They're like around all the Home Depots, all of like the local restaurants I used to go to when I was younger. It's just, it's horrible seeing how it's affecting so many people back home and all over the country, and it's just continuing to happen. So I hope that this does something, and it's amazing to be here right now watching Martin Luther King Jr.'s son, Martin Luther King Jr. the third, speaking right now. So I really hope this has some type of big impact.
Why do you think it's hard for America to accept Hispanics?
I don't know. I ask myself that all the time. I don't understand it either.
And let's not get it twisted. This is an ethnic cleansing in the beginning. We are seeing an ethnic cleansing in real time, not just outside of the US, also outside of the US. But right now, the way that ICE is infiltrating our communities, this is the beginning of an ethnic cleansing to ignore due process and to deport people to another country, to countries that they're familiar with, the beginning of ethnic cleansing. And we need to fight that immediately.
It's facts.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Bill.
Bill. Bill, question. Why do you think in 2025 it's so hard for America to accept Hispanics?
I suspect that people are they're afraid that they're losing something that they always felt comfortable with. They think that there's not going to be a place for them the way there used to be. So that they have to accommodate more people from more different countries, different colors, different creeds. Somehow they fear they'll get displaced, and they won't, in a sense, sort of occupy the position they used to. That's my sense of things.
Right.
Just a guess.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a good answer.
I guess probably just because they're different from majority, not even the majority anymore, but the plurality, I guess. And people don't really like things that are different.
Nice to meet you, Kiara. So, question: why do you think it's so hard for Americans to accept Hispanics?
I think it's just because any type of culture that isn't like white, I think it's just harder for them because it's not just Spanish. I think that's just who we're like really putting energy into right now. But I don't think that's like consistent because like every few years it seems like it's a different type of nationality that we seem to, because once it was the Muslims, then people of color. So it just changes as time develops. We just pick and choose someone different each time, it seems. So if you're not white and male, then you're just not going to have a good time, sadly.
Honestly, it's just anything that's different, they're going to feel some type of way about it.
Just understanding what politics can do to a nation of people, man, and recognizing that people have been impacted, blindsided. They've been blindsided by this guy. A good friend of mine lost her job, solely based on some of the stuff he was saying. Another one of my friends, her husband got deported, and they voted for him. So a lot of stuff was close to hit home, man, and that's all. People just didn't recognize it. How important politics is. So I guess I'm here to start sharing what I know in the word, man.
Why do you think it's so hard for America to accept Hispanics?
I just everything comes with racism. They accept Hispanics, white Hispanics. They be all around with the blonde hair and blue eyes. Even I'm Puerto Rican. There's Puerto Ricans that got light skin and blue eyes. They accept them. Cubans, the majority of Cubans voted for Trump in Florida. They accept the lighter tone. Everything has to do with color in America. Everything has to do with race. Just like there's immigrants, they're white immigrants. They're not going against them. No, they're coming in the neighborhoods like in North Philadelphia. There's ICE walking up and driving up and down where my mom lives at because that's predominantly Hispanic neighborhood. They're not coming they just don't like color because they're coming against the black immigrants and Hispanic immigrants.
I feel like we're a group that accepts everyone and helps everyone, and we're loving. I'm not sure why. Can you tell me why?
So not too long ago, it was a train called the Death Train, and they would catch the train and ride the train up to America, Hispanics, and they was dying on the street.
This line right here.
Sign Christ.
You took me off mute. Oh, no sign Christ. The what? Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Adam Bashim Yahshua to the sisters. I'm preaching up so Parat is out, you know what I'm saying? Out of ISUPK headquarters in Harlem, New York. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. ISUPK started for 1 West 120th Street, Harlem, New York. under Commander Jamie Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians with Negro and indigenous descent. They are God's chosen people according to the Bible. Let's clap it up for the Most High in Christ. And also, this is history class. Since 1969, ISUPK have been teaching so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians the history according to the Bible, the truth. Let's clap it up for that.
That's right.
The Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You know what I'm saying? Baba Gashar, read the title of the class right on the top.
God's people, Israelites, we hope also that God that delivered all his people.
You know what I'm saying? That it says it right here. God's people, Israelites, we hope also that God deliver us all his people. Possessive. Who is his people? Because right now, the Christian church, the Catholic Church, the Muslim mosques, they can pick up the Bible, they can pick up the Israelites' constitution and think that's who they are. Where is God's people? Where is the Israelites? How come the Israelites look like white Jesus doctrine of today? Who did that? Who did that? Right now, you know what the Israelites is doing? Especially the priest and the prophet of the ISUPK. We are celebrating our Hanukkah. That's why you see right here our candles. We celebrating, you know what I'm saying, the victory that we, you know what I mean, that we fought against the Greeks. Another nation. But today in 2000 and going into 26, 2025, how come my brothers, the Haitians, is not doing the same thing? It should be an honor that you could fight against your slave master. Your slave master. But everybody celebrate what? Thanksgiving, sir, right? Celebrate Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is the manipulate fought against people that had kindness. That had kindness. Our people need to be delivered. Our people need to be delivered. That's exactly what's going on. Our people need to be delivered. Baba Shaw. Get it Matthew's chapter. What is it? What's the name? 15 and 24. Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. If I'm not mistaken, I am not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Let's go to the New Testament, then we're gonna go into the Old Testament.
The book of Matthew. So like it. The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
This is our king. This is Yahweh Shah Mashiach. This is what the people who call Jesus. He was answering someone. And he said, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Yasha'Allah. That's what he said. Slacky on one. Did he say something else? You know, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, you know he's going to speak that Hebrew. You know what I mean? To get the punch, So understand and make sure that you don't have no confusion about why I'm on the scene. You know that, you know what I mean? He was at what? A stern man. You don't think he was speaking Hebrew when he said, I bet he said, Yasha Allah. To that white woman. You understand what I'm saying? To that white dog. To that, you know what I mean? To that white woman that is an oppressor in 2025. Why did he deny her when he's for everybody? Somebody lied to us. Somebody lied to us. Sir. The way that, you know what I mean, they're lying to us and say that the Old Testament is done away with. The way that they say you could celebrate, you know what I'm saying, you could celebrate the God of the Bible on Sunday when he said the rest is on the Sabbath, the seventh day. I'm just trying to read that again.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 24.
Oh, matter of fact, start from 122, Bob.
Verse 22. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast.
So now it said, woman of Canaan. Now we're talking about people who live in different regions. Because when you know what I'm saying, when you read Luke, when you read Mark, it's telling you, you know what I mean, they're giving their point of view on this situation, but more detail. It's just like the same thing that, you know what I'm saying, I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. I'm from Yonkers. Because now, you know what I'm saying, if I'm from Yonkers, it would say a woman from Yonkers. But, you know what I mean? But she's from another nation. That's how that goes down. It will be like an Israelite from, you know what I'm saying? It will be like an Israelite from Queens. But nevertheless, he's still an Israelite. We don't say.
God. And cried unto him, saying,
and cried unto who? Cried unto the priest and the prophet of the Lord. Not only she cried to Yahweh Shah Mashiach, she cried to the, you know, sir, she cried to the priest that was under him. Because remember, in this scripture, they said, let her go. She cried, you know what I mean? She was coming on to us. Because she knew who was God's people. Read on, sir.
Saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David.
Thou what?
Thou son of David.
No. Thou son of the Holy Spirit.
Thou son of David.
No. Thou son of Immaculate Conception.
Thou son of David.
No. How can it be thou son of David? Sir, how can it be thou son of David if he was underneath somebody who adopted him? How can he be thou son of David? Unless this person knows. Does he even know the status? See, this is how it's going to be in the kingdom. Do we all understand second and third class citizens? Slovakia. Do we understand that? Second and third class citizens. We know who's on top and who's on the bottom. We all know that. In America, who's on the top and who's on the bottom? Who know all the information and who don't know all the information? I gotta go to a white man to know some information. Everybody knows that, especially when it comes to business. Salakia, you know, in North Dakota, the state, land every goddamn where. Land. Pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. Why? You know what I mean? Why nobody told us that you could pay $150 in taxes on all this land that is in North Dakota? Land. And I'm talking about acres and acres and acres and acres of land. Your sons and daughters would never experience all the land that you could buy in America. You know America is big, right? America is big. Why we don't know that? Why blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians don't know that? But our oppressor knows. Acres of land, sir. Yo, I don't know if you know. I'm talking about bigger than Haiti, and you could own all that land. You know what? You know what you could do on that land? Anything what you want. Anything what you want. You could dig up and make rivers. You could dig up and make farmland. You could dig up and make wells. You could do anything to your land, and guess what? You still won't crack how big the land is. And I'm talking about bigger than DR and Haiti. Pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. And remember, DR and Haiti is what? A paradise. In North Dakota, there's wintertime. You know that? There's wintertime. Snow. You can't grow anything. You only have a significant time to grow something. In Haiti and DR, you don't have a significant. You just grow it. You just grow it. Shall I read that?
Thou son of David, my daughter is grievously vexed with a devil.
No, hold up. A what?
My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil.
Her daughter, you know what I mean? A different nation from Yasharahla is grievous with the devil. Read on. That sounds real and something important. Read on.
But he answered her not a word.
Say that again.
But he answered her not a word.
I thought, Yahushua Mashiach, I thought he loved everybody. He answered her not. She said, my daughter is hurting right now. Son of David. My daughter is jammed up right now. Son of David. And what did the Son of God do? He did not answer her at all. You have to know this right here. Read on.
Verse 23. But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away.
Say that again.
Send her away.
What did his disciples do?
Besought him, saying, send her away.
No, she cried to, you know what I'm saying, the Son of God. She cried to the Son of God. And even the disciple who is the You know what the Catholic Church always talking about the forefathers, right? They always talking about the church fathers. You know what they always say that, but they never say about the church fathers saying this to some goddamn heathen. You notice that? The church fathers say, send her away. She not us. We don't.
For she cried after us.
She cried after us first before she went to you, sir. We try to, you know what I'm saying, kick her to the side, and she ran up on you because she know you was over us. We don't.
But he answered and said, verse 24, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Oh man. You know what? She didn't go no place. She didn't run away. She fought and scratched because she knew who is God's chosen people. And she knew that God's chosen people can help her daughter. She knew that. And the brother said, I'm not for you. I'm for God's chosen people. She went to Yahweh Shah Mashiach, and you call Jesus Christ, and said, can you please help my daughter? I know that you God's chosen people. And we have to answer her. Say, I'm not sent, but to the Lord Chief of the house of Israel. I'm here to help my company. We don't, sir.
Come. Verse 25. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. Verse 26. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs.
Oh, so Black suspends the name again and Salaki, sir. Can you take over on home?
Salaki, real quick, Officer Parakas, I will be back. All right. When you look in the book of Matthew, right? In the book of Matthew, chapter 20, no, that was chapter 15, right? The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24, that we're going to go back to and read. And this is very imperative for, our people to understand, man, this book, contrary to what we have been taught as a people, we have been taught that this Bible belongs to everybody. That's what we grew up in the Christian church. We grew up and we go to churches that, there are multiple races in these churches. You see white people, you see black people, you see Arabs. You got Arabs now that are Christians. You have Christians, Arabs. They do not practice Islam. They don't believe in Muhammad, right? They believe in Jesus Christ. You have East Indians who are Christians. And because of that, it can fog our understanding of the Bible to think that this Bible belongs to everybody. It can fog our interpretation of the scriptures to think that Jesus Christ came for everyone, but that is a lie. That is not biblical. And the scriptures, if you take your time to really dissect the scriptures, if you take your time to listen to what the ISUPK, what we have been teaching to our people since 1969, you will realize that we are right. We are absolutely right. The doctrine of Christianity is a lie. The doctrine of Christianity does not teach us about the Bible. And these verses that I'm about to read that also Paratazar was going over shows you that clearly. All right, it's the book of Matthew, chapter 15. We start at verse 22, right? So when you go to Mark, right, in Matthew, just tell you, and behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. Right? When you go to Matthew, no, not Matthew, this is Matthew. When you go to Mark, I believe in Mark 7, verse, I believe Mark 7, verses 25 or 26, it gives you more details. It tells you that she was a Greek, a Syrophoenician, right? That was a devil. That is our oppressor today that we call Becky. That who approached Jesus to ask him to help her daughter. All right. And it shows you how the Israelites dealt with the heathen. This shows you because when they came to the disciples, right, the disciples sent her away. That shows you it wasn't an Israelite. Because if it was an Israelite, they would have dealt with her differently. They dealt with her in this manner because she was a heathen, because she was a white woman. She was not our people. That's why they sent her away, right? And that should show you how Christ didn't deal. He did not treat everyone the same. He treated the Israelites a specific way, even if he was a sinner. But he treated the heathen like they were dogs. And the scripture tells you that plainly. Let's keep on going. Verse 23, but he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she cried after us. But he answered her and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him. So now she's bowing down to him. She's bowing down. She's begging him. She is pleading with him at this point because he already gave her an answer. He said, I'm not sent to you. You know, I'm sent to my people. All right. I am sent to the Israelites. I'm sent to the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm not sent to you. But she's begging him. She's like, Lord, please, please, Yahweh, please, Jesus, thou son of David, please, Lord, help me. Verse 26, but he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. He's doubling down on it. After he told her, look, you know, I'm sent to the Israelites. She keeps begging. So now he's saying, I can't take what belongs to the children of Israel and give it to you, a dog. I cannot do that. And let's see her response. Because a lot of people, they trip on this, but what they do not realize is just like when a white man or white woman come in front of our camp while we are at camp and we're speaking, there's a certain way that some white men, some white women, very few, not a lot of them, there's a certain way that they deal with us. There's a certain way that they recognize who we are. And because of that, there's a certain way that we deal with them. When a white woman comes in front of our camp and bows down to us and kiss our boots, when a white man comes in front of our camp and bow down to us and recognize that we are God's chosen people in 2025 in America, this white society, when they do not have to, when they don't have to do it, and they bow down in front of us and kiss our boots, there's a certain way we're going to deal with that white man. You understand? There's a certain way we're going to deal with that white woman because they recognize their position and they recognize who we are as God's chosen people. So this is what we are seeing here in Yahweh Shah Mashiach's answer, and I'm about to read it. But he answered and said, no, after he said, it is not meet, right, to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs, verse 27, and she said, truth, Lord, right? This is important. Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. This is crucial. You know why this is crucial? Because this is showing you that what? Real quick, we're going to read it again, right? So like it, we got to read it again. So like it real quick. So like it, Israel. Real quick, we're going to read it again. She said, after he told her, right? This is what Jesus said to that white woman. Jesus called that white woman a dog. He literally called her. He literally compared her to a dog as opposed to the Israelites, which he called children, right? He said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. Who are the children? The children are the Israelites. These are Jesus' words. He's comparing the Israelites to children in the metaphor. At the same time, let's see how or what he compares the white woman to, and to cast it to dogs. He is comparing her to a German shepherd. That's what he is comparing her to. It is clear, it is plain, right? There's no debate about this. Verse 27, and she said, truth, Lord. This is crucial to understand what occurred after that. To understand why Yahushua, why Jesus responded the way that he responded, you have to recognize what she did in verse 27. In verse 27, she accepted the comparison that Jesus made. She accepted her position comparing to the children of Israel as a dog. She accepted that. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs. Meaning what? Yes, I understand. I am a dog. I understand. But the dogs, they eat. Yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from the master's table. Right? She recognized that she is not an Israelite. She recognized that she is not blacks, Hispanics, indigenous, native Indian people. She recognized that. She's not from the 12 tribes of Israel. She recognized that she is a descendant of Esau. She recognized that she is a dog, right? And then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. This is the reason why. All right, the scripture is going to tell you. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. All right. So let's see if we could get it on Mark's account. All right, because Mark gives a little more detail. Mark, you see. There you go. In Mark 7, verse 26, it said what? The woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by nation, and she besought him that he will cast forth the devil out of her daughter. Verse 27. But Jesus said unto her, let the children first be filled, for it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it unto the dogs. And she answered and said unto him, yes, Lord, yet the dogs under the table eat of the children's crumb. Verse 28, verse 29, and he said unto her, for this saying, go thy way. The devil is gone out of thy daughter. So why did Jesus heal her daughter? A lot of people always ask this question because they say, well, you know, Jesus came for everybody because surely she was not an Israelite. And then look, he healed her daughter. Meaning Jesus came for everybody. No, this does not change the scriptures. Does not change the prophecy that the Messiah will come to deliver Israel. This don't change that. This does not change that Jesus will sit on his father's throne, David, and he will be there to save his people. This does not change the fact that Jesus said, I am not sent but unto the 12 sons of Israel, or the 12 tribes of Israel. This does not change it. What this shows is that she recognized her position in our kingdom. She recognized that she is not an Israelite. She recognized that she is a dog. That's why Jesus said, for this saying, the same way, like I was telling y'all earlier, a white man, a white woman come in front of ISUPK camp and they deal with us where they bow down to us, they kiss our boots, they recognize that yes, y'all are the children of Israel, and they recognize that their people have done evil, their people have massacred our people, their people have committed genocide, their people have stripped us of our name, of our culture, of our language. They recognize all the evil that their people have done, and they bow down to us to show the remorse. Of course, for this action that these white people do, that you can see on the internet, you could go on YouTube right now and type ISUPK boot kiss. You're gonna see exactly what I'm telling you. Well, for this action that you are going to see on YouTube when you type ISUPK boot kiss, because of this action, that's how we deal with these Edomites differently. In the same manner, Jesus Christ dealt with this Greek, with this Syrophoenician women differently because she recognized she is a dog compared to the children of Israel. Let's go with one more, the book of Matthew, chapter 10. All right? The book of Matthew, chapter 10. And as you get into these scriptures, man, you know, coming out of the Christian church, there's something that when you are in the church, you are always asking questions that never get answered. These questions that we have in the Christian church, these questions do not get answered. We only are left with more confusion. We are left with more confusion. When we go inside the church, we come out, we just left with more confusion, man. The pastor does not answer any of our questions. They just sing and dance and have a good sermon, but then the questions about life, the questions about the condition of our people, the question about our purpose, these questions, they do not get answered in the church. But in the ISUPK, these questions will be answered. As you read these scriptures, you will understand clearly why we are in the position that we are in as a people. You will understand clearly why was it important for Jesus Christ to come through the seed of David and to die for us. You will clearly understand. Why? Because there is a river, like Captain Tazariak says all the time, there is a river that flows through the Bible, man. When you read the Old Testament and you read the New Testament and you see how they intertwine, you see how it makes sense, you see how it was prophesied that we will be destroyed as a people if we went astray. Like, you can see all these things. So now these answers, these questions that we have as a people, now when you come into the ISUPK, you are learning the doctrine that we teach, which is the truth, because ISUPK is the home of the truth. Now these questions that you have will be answered. Now you can begin to understand, man, this is the reason why we are destroyed today as a people. This is the reason why we got all these other races of people that are ruling over America, that are on top of us. Whether we are in America, in Puerto Rico, in Jamaica, in Haiti, in Mexico, in Venezuela, in Dominican Republic, it does not matter where we are as a people. Another nation is ruling over us. And that is because we are God's chosen people. And Jesus Christ only came to deliver us out of this condition that we are in. These other nations do not need to be delivered because they didn't receive the punishment that we received for our disobedience. We are the one who received the punishment. So how can these other nations who did not receive the punishment that we received, because our punishment was specific. We received a specific punishment. These other nations, they know who they are. They are not confused. They do not need to do no DNA test to say, oh, I'm 20% Asian, I'm 40%, white, I'm 30%, indigenous. They are not confused. All white people know they are white. All right, Chinese know they Chinese. They are not confused about who they are. All right, North Koreans, they know who they are. Only us, Black and Latinos, we are so confused. We think that we are 20% indigenous, 5%, Igbo, 3% Nigerian. So now we are looking at ourselves like a spectrum, and we have different percentage of who we are. So that means we are everything. We are Igbo, 20%. We are 3% Nigerian, 5% indigenous, 2% white. We all these things that we believe because we are the people that Christ came to deliver out of this confusion, out of this punishment of being destroyed as a people, of being a no people. Now let's read the book of Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commended them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. All right. Verse 6. Remember the northern kingdom, right? Our brothers and sisters, they went into captivity. All right. And the Assyrian, they had brought up other people on this land. So we had a lot of heathen that was living in Samaria, a lot of heathen, right? A lot of other people was living there, and we were not to go into their ways. We were not to fall under the influence of their customs, of their culture. We were to remain who we are, and we were to go and fish our people out of their way of life. All right. Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And that's what we do today in 2025. We do not go to these other nations, right? We don't go to these other nations. We go to our people. We go to the Israelites. When we go, when we go to Times Square, we don't go there for Esau. All right. We might blaze on Esau. We might blaze on the Edomites. We might blaze on Ishmael. We might blaze on the Hamites, but we are not there for them. We are there for our people. Because Times Square, you have all our people walking up and down Times Square. You have the Mexicans in Times Square. You have Puerto Ricans in Times Square. You got indigenous people in Times Square. You got Black people in Times Square. You got Haitians, Jamaicans. Everybody is in Times Square. At the same time, you have the French. You have German. You have, Chinese. You have North Korean. We are not going to Times Square for these people. We are going there for who? Who did Jesus say? But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right? That's who we are here for. We are here to raise our nation from the dust, from the condition, from the destruction that we fell under due to our sin, due to our disobedience. All right? So it is important, as Parathas have titled this class, God's people, Israelites. We hope also that God, I believe he meant we hope also that God deliver all his people. I believe that's what he meant to to write. Hey, Shalom, Officer Madaba, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat. Shalom, Supreme Tazadawan, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat. Yaquah, Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Alataba Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So it is very important for us to get these breakdown, man. Let me see if I get the Apocrypha. I'll get it on the phone real quick. All right, let's go to the book. Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras real quick. Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6. Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verses. All right. Let's start at verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac. So now when you read the book of Esdras, right? In the book of 2nd Esdras, Esdras was just tired of oppression. That's a brother, man, and that is the spirit that we need to have as a people. That spirit. Go read the book of Esdras, man. That is one of the books that will get you right, get your spirit right, as far as not being comfortable in this society. Because a lot of times we get comfortable in captivity. We sometimes we tend to forget that we are in captivity. We tend to forget it because we have jobs, we're making money. All right. So some brothers got businesses, they making decent money. Some brothers go on vacation, some brothers, they got a nice car. All right. We got cell phones, sisters, you got all the distraction, right? You got television, you got hotspot, you got Wi-Fi, you got Hollywood, you got hundreds of channels now, television channels, and you have so much distraction right here on your cell phone. So much distraction right here on this device right there. So it can happen that you forget as an Israelite you are in captivity. It can happen that you're not even considering the fact that as a nation, as a race of people, you have another race of people that is ruling over you. They are the one who creates the curriculum of what your children are going to learn. They the one who decide. You didn't decide what is the children of Israel going to learn at school. No, your oppressor determined that. Your oppressor determined. So this is going to be the historical data that these people are going to learn. This is going to be the curriculum that we are going to teach. All right. You do not make that decision. And a lot of times, if you are not wise, right? If you are not careful, if you are not diligent, it can happen that you forget as an Israelite that you are in captivity. We are in captivity. Never forget. We have this saying in the ISUPK. We have an entire T-shirt. It says "Never forget," and then I believe you have the depiction of a slave boat. Never forget about slavery, man. Never forget about slavery. Never forget that we are in captivity. And when you read the book of Esdras, you can see Esdras he just wanted to know, when is this captivity going to be over? Right? When is it going to be over? How come we have these people who are not a people ruling over us? When is it going to be over? So he's talking to the angel, and this is what the angel said to him, right? We're in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. All right. So Yaakov, was holding Esau's heel. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. So our oppressors, man, and you can see it. It is a beautiful thing. It is beautiful in my sight, all right, to see our oppressors falling. And if you have eyes, if you have wisdom, you can see the devil is falling. The devil is literally on his way down. He is on his way down. But you have to be in the ISUPK to understand. You have to be in the ISUPK to notice. The devil is on his way down. Because why? He is the end of the world. And what's important about this, right? What's important about this, which is the latter part of Paratazar's title, also that God delivered all his people. What's important about this, about our oppressor being the end of the world, what's important about it is the fact that Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And who's Jacob? We are Jacob. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the Jamaicans, the Mexicans, the Trinidadians, all right, the Puerto Ricans, all right, the Honduran, Brazilian, right, Argentinian, Haitians, Dominicans. We are Jacob. Why? Because Jacob or Israel is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. So we are these people, man. So, so like it. So when the scripture says, so like it. So when the scripture says in Second Esdras, all right, that Jacob, Esau is the end of the world, right? It says Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So now, when you look on your television, you can see that our oppressors, they are going to war. And you can see also, there's something that you can see that we have to pay attention to. Like we read in the book of Maccabees, I think it was the book of First Maccabees, when it shows you that, you know, the nations were quiet. The nations were quiet when they dealt with, I think it was Antiochus, right? When they dealt with him, they were quiet in front of him. It's the same thing with America. A lot of nations were quiet in front of America. Well, this is changing today. We can see that nations are standing up to our oppressors. That's because they are going to the Third World War, and the scriptures tell us all about it. The scripture tell us about the alliance with Gog and Magog, which represent Russia, and Magog, which means of Russia, which are the alliances, the people who will align themselves with Russia. That's what he's talking about when he's talking about Gog and Magog in the book of Ezekiel, the 37 and the 38th chapter. All right. And this is going to usher in the Third World War, where our oppressors are going to fall. They are the end of this world. The society as we know it today, our oppressors who are on top, who are ruling, all right, this petrodollar who is like king on this earth, and you can see how they are fighting. They just seized, I think 190 million. Like Donald Trump is a pirate. Like America, they bring in, well, they've been doing it, but they are pirates, man. They just stole so many gallons of oil. They stole an entire boat of oil from Venezuela because they need to keep that petrodollar on top. They need to do it because their empire is falling, and we can see it here in the ISUPK. And it's a beautiful thing because when their empires fall, what's happening is that, like it says in the scripture, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. After their kingdoms fall, our kingdom will rise. So this is important. So read the book of Second Esdras, man, so you can get the spirit that Ezra was in. Now we're gonna read further. All right, we in Second Ezra 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it. That followeth, the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. All right, now this is crucial as well. Other question Ezra asked thou not. So it's telling you the hand of man, right, representing everybody else. We're talking about Esau and Jacob. Now he says the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Remember, Jacob is holding the heel. So Jacob's hand is attached to Esau's heel, right? Esau's heel. So now the hand of man is betwixt the hand of Jacob and Esau's heel. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Meaning what? Everything that the other nations do, everything that they are going to be, depends on this relationship. It depends on this relationship right here between Jacob, which are so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and Esau, which is our oppressor, the white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's what it's all about. This is why you see them in Israel today claiming to be us. And when we say, nah, we are us, we are considered anti-Semitic because the hand of man is betwixt Jacob and Esau. Everything that this world revolves around is us, right? Jacob and Esau. Because when they fall, guess what? Everybody got to get in line according to our power, according to our rulership, according to our rules. That's what it's going to be. That's what it is. All right. Now, let's jump down to verse let's jump down to verse 1 second. 54. All right, in verse 54, this is what it says. And after these, Adam also whom thou madest. Hold on, let me see. I think there's a scripture I want here. One second, Israel. All right, we're gonna go to verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee. So yes, of course, this is another thing that many people like to mention. They like to mention the fact that we all came from Adam, but they mention it, right? When Christians mention this, they mention it from the left side. They don't mention it from having the right doctrine of the Bible, from understanding the Bible. They get it right. But the only reason they get it right is because even a broken clock is right at least twice a day. That's the only reason they get this thing right when they say we all came from Adam. You know, they only get it right because Christianity is a broken clock. That's what Christianity is a broken clock. So yes, there's things that you're gonna hear from the Christian church that's going to be correct. Why? Because the source is the Bible. So when they say that we are all descendant of Adams and Eve, they are correct, but they do not know how to be correct. They don't know. They just say it because, like I said, a broken clock is right at least twice a day. Is the same way when they said, when they said that Jesus came. All right, Jesus came from, when they say that Jesus, well, they don't say that Jesus is the son of David. They say he's the son of God. literally. But when they say that Jesus came to deliver us from our sin, they are right. But they don't know who the us is. They think the us is everybody, and that's where they get it wrong. So now, the reason that they are right is because um, Noah, who is a descendant of Adam, him and his family are the only one that survived the flood. And because they were a direct descendant of Adam and they are the one who survived the flood, that's why today we are all descendant of Adam. But during Adam's time, there were other families on this earth. There were other families, but the other families, they all died during the flood. Only families that survived the flood were the families of Adam. It was Noah, his three sons, and their wives. These are the only people who survived the flood, and that is the only reason why we are descendants of Adam, not because Adam is the first man that the Most High God created. All right, just for the record. So now it says, and after these, Adam also one time made us Lord of all thy creatures. Yes, right? The Most High made Adam Lord over all the creatures. That's correct. Of him come we all. That's also correct. All of us, all the races on the earth, we all come from Adam. And the people also one time has chosen. So all the other races come from Adam, and also us, the Israelites. All right. So now there is a separation here. There's everybody else, right? And there is us. Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. So when you see this earth, when you see the world, this world was created for us to rule over it. This is what this world was created for. And our purpose on this earth, and which shows you how it's so beautiful. What is our duty? What is our purpose on earth? Our purpose is to do what? To obey God. That's what it says. That's what the scripture says. The whole duty of man is to obey God. So if the whole duty of man is to obey God, and God gave us his laws, statutes, and commandments, and told us if we obey him, we will rule the earth. It shows you, man, that this river is flowing in the Bible, man. There is the river that flows through the Bible. Everything makes sense. Everything is connected. Everything is intertwined. It is attached, right? The Most High God gave us his laws, statutes, and commandments and told us if we obey him, we will rule this earth. And when you look in the scriptures, it tells you, because thou madest the world for our sake. This world was made for us to rule over it. Verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam. So there are other people on this planet Earth. There are many other people. And guess what? They are all doing better than us. I don't care if it's the East Indians. I don't care if it's the Somalians. I don't care if it's the Nigerian. I don't care if it's the Ethiopian, if it's the Russian, the Ukrainian, the Palestinian are doing better than us. They're doing better than us because the Palestinian, they are not confused. They are not confused about who they are. They are not confused about their identity. They are not confused about their culture. They are not confused. We are the people that's confused. We are the people who do not know who we are, who do not know who our power is. Like it says in Isaiah, the first chapter, it tells you, the ox knoweth its owner, and I think the donkey his master's crib. But Israel do not know. We don't know. We don't know nothing. We don't know who we belong to. We don't know who we are as a people, man. All right. So all these other nations, they are ruling over us. And that is not supposed to be happening. It is happening because of one thing and one thing only. It is our disobedience. So we are serving a punishment right now. That's what it is. We are serving a punishment that is coming to an end. And as for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing but be like unto spittle. Like as I'm speaking right now, there are little spittle that are coming out of my mouth. And the Most High compare these nations to spittle. That's how unimportant they are. But when we disobey God, they become our snares, like it says in the book of Judges. They become the people that are now going to be ruling over us. Because okay, so you didn't want to rule over the Chinese, right? You did not want to rule over the Chinese, no sweat. Now you're gonna have Chinese food restaurant all in your neighborhood. The Chinese are going to prosper over you. All right, the East Indian are going to prosper over you. The Somalians are going to come here, they're going to prosper over you. Why? Because these people who are nothing, who you are supposed to rule over through your obedience, because you did not obey God, then now they are going to be the snares that are going to be over you. Let's keep on going. Thou hast said that they are nothing but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. All right, that's who they are. All right, that's who they are, man. These people are nothing. They are nothing, and I'm about to show you in the next verse how Ezra felt about this, and this is the spirit that we ought to have as a people. We ought to have the spirit right here, man. In verse 57, it says, what? And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing. What is the reputation of these heathen? These heathen, their reputation is that they are nothing. That is their reputation. That's who they are. They are nothing. Nothing. They are inferior than us. Why? Because the Most High God made it so. That's why. It was God's will that we rule over these other nations. It was God's will that we will be stronger than these other nations. All right? God decided that. We didn't make that decision. God did. All right? But verse 57, O now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing has begun to be Lord over us and to devour us. Now, these people who are nothing, Bijo is nothing, right? Andre Apet is nothing. Bulos, these people are nothing, man. They are nothing. And what happened? They began to be Lord over us and to devour us. Now, these are the people that are devouring us today. The people that were like spittle, the people that are reputed to be nothing on this earth, the people that are below us. Now, they are Lord over us. They are our landlords. They are our doctors. They are our teachers. They are teaching our children. They create the curriculum. They decide. They determine what it is that your children are going to learn. They decide that. You do not decide that. And that's how Ezra felt, man. Ezra is looking at the condition like, damn, these heathen, they are Lord over us, the Israelites. These heathen are Lord over God's chosen people. These heathen are ruling over us, God. When is this going to come to an end? And when you know who you are, man, this is why the truth is so beautiful, because it teaches you. The truth gives you your soul back. That's what the truth does to you. It gives you your soul. it gives you your life back. Because without this truth, we are dead. We are corpse. That's what we are without this truth, man. And when you understand, when you get this knowledge, when you get this wisdom, you look at these other nations for who they are, right? You look at them for who they are, and you begin to see yourself and see the responsibility that you have as an Israelite to live according to the law, statutes, and commandments of God so that we can be delivered from these nobodies. Because that is the only way, because the only way that we fell under them was what? It was our disobedience. See, so the only way that we're gonna get back on top and put these heathen, these nobodies in their place is through what? Is through our obedience. That's how we do it. So this truth is imperative, man. This truth is crucial. There is nothing more important than this truth. There's nothing more important in this planet for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians than the truth that comes out of the priests and prophets of the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana. This doctrine is life. This doctrine gives you your soul back. This doctrine gives you your life back. This doctrine gives you your sanity back. It gives you your self-esteem back. It gives you back your identity, which is all you need, because once you have your identity, once you know this identity and you have the knowledge and you have the wisdom, then you can understand the responsibility that comes with being an Israelite. Because being an Israelite means what? Being an Israelite means that this earth was created for you to rule over it. And what is the responsibility in order to rule over this earth is obedience to God. All right, let's keep on going. Verse 58. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy people, your people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover are given into their hands. Now we are given into the hands of these people who are reputed to be nothing, who are just like spittle, who are worth nothing, who are nothing that people that we need to civilize. That's all they are. They are people that the Israelites have to civilize. We have to civilize white people, man. We have to civilize white people. Because if we don't civilize white people, every white child is going to be unalive. Every teenager, white boy, they are going to be unalive by other white people. Go ask Charlie Kirk. All right. Of course, Charlie Kirk was a grown man when he got unalive, from loss of blood caused by another white man. But if we do not civilize white people are going to be extinct through white on white crime. If we do not civilize Arabs, every little 6 and 9-year-old girl are going to be violated. And we are the people that are going to civilize these people, because these people are nothing but people that need to be civilized by their true Lord, the Israelites, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Verse 58, but we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. Verse 59, if the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? This is the mind state that Ezra was in. Ezra was like, damn, how long is this going to be? how long is this going to take? How long is this going to take? Because we've had enough. How much longer are we going to be in this captivity? How much longer are we going to be ruled by a people who are beneath us? When are we going to be delivered? When is it going to happen? Well, it will happen. All right. Let's go to the next scripture real quick. Real quick, to like it. So now let's go to the next chapter, Second Ezra, chapter 7. We're gonna start at verse 7. All right. We're gonna start at verse 7. Verse 6. There is another thing. There is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field. All right. And the city in the metaphor, it is the kingdom. All right. It is the time that when we're going to be in our glory, when we're going to be delivered from this hell that we are living in today. A city is built and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow. What did Christ say in the New Testament, man? Was it Christ that said it? That, you know, the way of life is narrow, right? I'm paraphrasing. It's narrow, but the way that leadeth to death is wide. Wide is the way that leadeth to death. For many that will find it. It's a lot of people that's going to find a way that leads to destruction, that leads to death. But the way of life, what was I telling you? The doctrine of the ISUPK is life. It gives you back your soul. It gives you back your life. But there's other ways. There's other ways you go to, and you become a drug addict. You lose your soul. You lose your drive. You lose your life. That's why this doctrine, man, this wisdom that the ISUPK teaches is of utmost importance. It is very important. It is extremely important. There is nothing above it. Not diamonds, not rubies, not gold, not silver, not Bitcoin, not XRP, none of that. All right? There's nothing above this wisdom, this knowledge that in the ISUPK we have been teaching our people since 1969. There's nothing above it. All right. There is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things. Verse 7, the entrance thereof is narrow. So this city, this kingdom that we are trying to get to as a people, to be delivered out of this hell that we are in, that city, that deliverance is there. It's built, but it's upon a broad field and it's full of all good things. All these good things that are inside, that's everything that we know today. Everything that we know today, that city have all the opposite. What do we know today? We are the first one to be hired, right? Last one to be hired, so like it. First one to be fired. That's what we know, right? We have the highest mortality rate in these hospitals, man. Infant mortality rates. We are the highest. The highest in diabetes and high blood pressure. The highest in STDs, in anything that is negative that you can think of, we are the highest in. Well, in that city, it's nothing but good things. It's nothing but health. It's nothing but rulership and prosperity, right? That is our deliverance, man. But that path to get to that city, to get to your deliverance, the entrance thereof is narrow. and is set in a dangerous place to fall. Not only the entrance is narrow, right? The entrance is narrow, so now you got to picture it. You got to picture like a corridor that you got to go through. You know, you just got to squeeze, you know, to pass through. So not only is this entrance is narrow, but it's set in a dangerous place. So it's not just some place you just got to squeeze to get through, but you got to squeeze and watch your step. Why? Let's read. Like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. So you got to walk that path, and on your right is fire, and on the left is water. That's how dangerous it is. So not only is it narrow, but you got to watch your step. You have to watch your step, because if you don't watch your step, what's going to happen? You're going to end up in the fire and burn, or you're going to end up in the water and drown. Either or, you're gone. You're not making it to your deliverance. You're not making it to the city. You're not making it to the kingdom. Let's keep on going. And on the left, a deep water, verse 8, and one only path between them both. It's only one path between them. It's not many paths. It's only one path between them. To get to that city is one path. ISUPK 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, since 1969. We are under commanding General Yahana. It's one path, one baptism, one spirit. That is how we get delivered. All right? That is how. ISUPK will teach you how. Let's keep on going. And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. Only one man can go there at once. That's how narrow this path is. Which means what? It's not for everybody. The truth is not for everyone, man. Right? The truth is not for everyone, because there are things in this world that are far more attractive than the truth. They are far more wide, you know, and easily accessed than the truth. The truth is not easily accessed. It's not, you know. The truth is not some place that you can bring all your family and all your friends and they'll just bum rush the truth. It's not that place. It's the place where it's only one man at a time. One man at a time. That's the truth. You know? Let's keep on going. And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. Verse 9, in this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance. If this city was given unto a man for an inheritance, that is what was given to us. That was our promise. All right, that is what is dear to Abraham's bosom, man. That is dear to Abraham's bosom, man. That was promised to the descendant of Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel, whom Jesus came for. Jesus came for these 12 tribes of Israel. That's who this inheritance, this city, this kingdom, this rulership was given to. And this kingdom is right after this kingdom that we are living in right now, which is falling. This kingdom that we are living in is falling, which means what? You need to be on the path. You need to be on the path to get to the next kingdom. You have to be on that path. If not, what's going to happen is that you are going to fall with this kingdom. You're going to fall with it. All right, you have to be on the path. to get to the next kingdom, because that is our inheritance, Israel. That is what belongs to us. All right, you can see it now. You can't see it. But don't be a child. Don't be a atheist or agnostic. People that's like, there's no evidence. Don't be that person. There's no evidence of the air. You know that it exists. You know it. Let me not say there's no evidence of the air. You cannot see the air. You can't see it, but you know it exists. There's evidence that it exists. It's the same way. You can't see God, but there is evidence that God exists. The mere fact that you exist means that the Most High power exists. All right? Creation is the proof of the Creator. All right? Let's keep on going. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? So, how are we going to be delivered as a people? How are we going to be delivered as a people if we do not go through this path? If we do not pick up our cross and follow Christ, to observe and to do the commandments of God, which was intended for us to do in the beginning. That's why you got stoned for not doing it. All right? That's why you got stoned for not doing it. That's why you got stoned for not following the laws. To get rid of evil out of Israel, so that we could have people that obey. We don't need people who do not obey. That was the ministry of death. The ministry of death took your life the minute that you made a step to the right. Now you got to get in the fire. Or the minute you made a step on the left, now you got to drown. The ministry of death handled that very well until they themselves fell. Until they themselves fell in the fire. Until they themselves fell in the water. Now, because of our King, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who ignorantly the world called Jesus Christ, we have a second opportunity now to walk that path without worrying about a priest stoning us. Now, it's on you. It's on you now. If you're going to take that inheritance, it's on you to take it. The scripture says, the saints shall take the kingdom. It's on you to take this kingdom, man. It's on us to take this kingdom. It's not just going to be handed unto us. No, you got to get on the path. Get on the path. Get on it. All right? Get on that path, man. Get on the path to be delivered. Get on the path, man, because the kingdom is being destroyed. This kingdom is being destroyed that we are in. This kingdom is falling, and it's beautiful. It is a beautiful thing to see it. It is a beautiful thing to see the wars that the Bible prophesied about. The Bible prophesied about these things thousands of years ago, and they are happening right now in your face every day. People are creating podcasts about World War III now. When we spoke about World War III back in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, they looked at our elders like they were crazy. We look at them like, what the hell are they talking about, this World War III? What is this World War III nonsense that the Israelites are talking about? That was back in the 60s. That was back in the 70s. That was back in the 90s, even, in the early 2000s. The Israelites were crazy, right? So now, are we crazy for talking about World War III? I don't think so, because everybody now have a podcast about World War III. Everybody's an expert now of World War III. This truth is real, and it is time for us as a people to get on the path, because getting on the path is how we get this kingdom, is how we get to that city, is how we get delivered. All right. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said it, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel portion, because for their sake I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few, and evil, full of perils, and very painful. For the entrance of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. So we have to labor as a people, man. We have to get busy. We have to get to work. That's what we have to do as a people, right? We have to get to work. We have to get to work, man. Let me see real quick. There's another scripture I want to leave y'all with. Is it Second Ezra chapter? Let me see. Bear with me, Israel. Chapter 14. All right. So now when you go to the book of Second Ezra, chapter 14, we're gonna start at verse 11. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are gone already, and half of a 10 part. All right. And there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part. So 10 part of the world is gone already. All right. During the time of Esdras. And there remaineth, basically there's just a little time that remains. It's not we don't have a lot of time. We do not have a lot of time. The time that remains is short. We have a short time that remains. All right. Let's keep on going for the end of this kingdom and our deliverance. Verse 12, and there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part. Verse 13, now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people. What are we supposed to do today? How do we get into the city? You know how we get into that city? By walking in that path. And how do we do it? By getting our house together, by getting our people together. All right. Reprove thy people and comfort such as them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. We got to reprove our people, man. We got to renounce corruption. We got to stay away from everything that get us to sin against God. We have to do it. That's how we get delivered. That's how we get to that kingdom, man. Because we are the people that Christ died for. We are the people that are to be delivered from our oppressors, because our oppressor, his word is coming to an end. And what does that tell you? That tells you the other nations, their word are coming to an end as well. Because these other nations, like it tells us in the book of Revelation, chapter 18, they get rich off of Babylon, man. They have drunken the same wine that of fornication that Babylon gave us. These other kings, these other nations, these other races of people, they have drunken from the same wine, from the same immorality. All right. And they are falling as well. And as they fall, we need to get on the path to renounce corruption, to reprove our people, to get our house in order. All right. Now, therefore, set thine house in order and reprove thy people, comfort such as them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from the mortal thoughts. All right, we got to become supernatural. We say, come, General Muhammad say this all the time, man. Be supernatural. You have to be supernatural. You have to be the kind of man that, let me tell you, man, it is natural, right? I'll use something really carnal. It is natural for a man, right? It is natural for you to see a beautiful woman and want to have sex with her. That's natural. That's natural. She's beautiful. She got it's natural. But how about you become supernatural? How about you look at her, you see her beauty, and you say you're not sleeping with her because of her beauty. You're not gonna do it. The only way you will even sleep with her is, let's say, she requests to talk to you, or if you request to speak to her and you court her and you see where is her mind. Is she someone that is after your mind? Is she someone that follows God? Is she someone that will submit to you? Is she someone that will submit to the laws, statutes, and commandments of God, or is she a woman that you're gonna have to fight with because she want to celebrate Christmas? Oh, you beautiful and fine, and but you want to celebrate Christmas? I'm not sleeping with you. That is being supernatural. It is natural for everybody in your neighborhood to smoke weed. And guess what? You smoke weed as well. Why? Because everyone is doing it. So you might as well. That is very natural to do. What is supernatural is to say, I'm not doing what you are doing. Yeah, I know everybody is doing it, but I'm not doing it. All right? We have to be supernatural, man. We have to be, and these are just two examples that I'm using, drugs and women. All right. Now let go from the mortal thought. There's many other examples that we can use as far as being supernatural. All right. Right now, ISUPK, we are supernatural people, man, because the entire earth is getting ready to celebrate Christmas. And guess what? We are not celebrating Christmas. We're going against the spirit. We are fighting the spirit. Why? Because we are walking that path. And Christmas is that fire. It's that fire. The minute you step to the right, you say, it's only Christmas. You fall. Or the minute you step to the left and you say, I'm just going to do it for the kids, you fall, you drown. In the ISUPK, we walking the straight path. We're not going to fall to the right in the fire. We're not going to fall to the left in the water. We're walking the straight path. Let go from the mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. These are burdens of man. Christmas is a burden of man. New Year is a burden of man. The other one that's coming up, Valentine's Day, these are burdens of man. And we cast these burdens away. Put off now the weak nature. All right? We are not to be weak. We are not to let our flesh dictate what we ought to do, because we have a soul, we have will, right? And we need to activate that. We need to wake up. And the only way you wake up is by receiving this knowledge, this wisdom that gives you your soul back, that gives you your life and your sanity back. Verse 15, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee, and haste thee to flee from these times. All right. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Man, greater evil. You thought World War I was something. You thought World War II was something. You thought the Cold War was something. Wait till you see what's going to happen in the Third World War. Wait for that. You thought you saw something, you ain't see nothing yet. Wait for the destruction that's coming, because this earth as it's going, things cannot go the way they've been going, man. They cannot. You know, we have our children, you know, that are missing by thousands every year. You know, sex trafficking, organ trafficking. You know, we losing 500,000 babies in these abortion clinics. This man, this captivity that we are under is the worst captivity that we've been under. We lost everything. We lost our sanity. We lost our minds. You know, we are losing our sons, our daughters. We are losing everything. And it is time for us as a people, you know, to look in the mirror and to know that it is on us to be delivered. It's our disobedience that caused us to fall. And Yahweh Mashiach, he made the ultimate sacrifice. He died for us. He came for us. And now what? Now, as we receive this knowledge, as we receive this wisdom, we have to now pick up our cross and walk that path. We have to walk that path. Because how else do we get delivered? How else do we receive this inheritance that belongs to us if we do not get up, pick up our cross, and fight and walk? All right, with that, we gotta end the class. We're gonna clap it up for Son of Christ. We'll be seeing y'all. Of course, ISUPK online classes tomorrow, 7 p.m., right? 7 to 9. ISUPK Haiti will be seeing y'all on Sunday, right? Sunday, 7 p.m. Sunday, 7 p.m. They suspended our live on TikTok, so I'm not sure if we'll be able to go live again. I sent the appeal, Lord willing, because TikTok is always suspending, you know, our lives. For some reason, last night we was live, they suspended our live. All right, so Lord willing, we'll be able to get back on TikTok so we could do our classes, so these classes could be live on TikTok. If not, you know, just make sure you share the YouTube link to your family and Israel. You know, say shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat, to all the brothers, to the sisters, shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Alatam Hashem, Yahweh Shah, shalom, Israel, shalom, Haiti.